show you some maps as well. So I work for the Natural Resources Defense Council in New York City, and I'm very happy to join and learn from you all at this meeting. We're talking about climate change as the most important public health threat that we've ever faced. And it's a global threat, but it's also a local one. We've seen in the United States that more and more people are understanding that climate change is a problem and that it will affect people, but the numbers dip below 50% when we ask about, will climate change affect you? What we found is that static maps, like the one shown on this slide, tell part of the story, but they also obscure part of the story. With these maps about some time in the future and what one particular impact looks like, we don't have a great understanding about community-level impacts, and we also lack sufficient understanding about cumulative impacts, right? It's not just the heat, it's not just the air pollution, it's not the extreme storm, it's everything converging all at once on communities. And that's why we at NRDC have undertaken an effort to contribute some dynamic maps in the United States, and I'd be happy to talk with any of you who are interested in implementing such maps in the places where you work. So this is what our website looks like. What we've done is compile for the United States 6 different types of maps that illustrate the local level impacts of climate change. Users can click on the map and zoom into their community and understand changes in temperature trends, for example, over time. And it's in this way that people can understand how climate change is here now. It's not some distant problem in the future. So we're using government data and really just synthesizing it and providing it in a new dynamic platform. So in addition to temperature exposures, on the left hand of the slide, you can see the types of other climate change sensitive impacts that we're talking about. Oftentimes, extreme heat exposures are the first thing that come to mind, but it's also important to consider infectious disease, for example, right? So here we're thinking about where mosquito vector species implicated in dengue fever have been found in the United States, and which areas are most vulnerable. We're also interested in building maps for other infectious diseases like West Nile virus and Lyme disease. Beyond infectious disease, we're also looking at air pollution. Worldwide, air pollution is regulated pollutant by pollutant, PM 2.5, ozone, right? But people are breathing in all types of pollution all at once, right? So we wanted to come up with a synthesis map showing 2 types of sensitive air pollution exposures, ozone and ragweed pollen. So anywhere on this map that's dark red is an area that's vulnerable to both of those types of impacts. And it's important to consider that ozone is a climate-sensitive pollutant, and we expect to see more of it as the Earth warms. We're also trying to expand the conversation about what climate change means for public health, and consider drought. Drought is increasingly in conversation in the public health community in terms of an important public health impact from climate. Yes, due to changes in where people are living around the planet, but also important in terms of air pollution and mental health as well. Just in the past couple of weeks, we've also seen the impacts of flooding. And so we've taken advantage of an opportunity to show what flooding historically is looking like in recent times. This is the map for 2000-2009, and draw attention to the range of cumulative impacts that are being experienced across the United States. The last map that I'll show you here is a cumulative impacts map. And that's the effort to basically tie together a lot of different data sources to give an understanding of how many extreme weather events and record-setting temperatures are being experienced across the country. We don't often see maps like this because it's hard to synthesize all of the data in a unified scale, right? But when you see it just for 1 year, this is 2011 that we're showing here, it's pretty striking to see the range of extreme events that are being experienced in the country. So we invite you to check out the maps, and I'm happy to talk with you about applying them to the places where you work. Thank you.